G'day guys, welcome to AFL Legends Unite. I'm Darryl Atkinson and today I'm going to be reviewing the Carlton and Sydney clash at the MCG. Wow, what a game it was. What a huge upset it was. It was the Blues who ran away to a 19-point win, 15-7-97 to 11-12-78. Even I'm surprised about this actually. I wasn't expecting this sort of Carlton to respond from last week's 90-point smashing. It was one of impressiveness, I think. I was very impressed with the way they went about it. They were literally full-on attacking. They were aggressive. They were absolutely brutal towards Sydney. They would always smash them to the ground, shut them down in all areas. And, you know, they're targeting Mills and Franklin very well. And yeah, they just really really caused a lot of headaches. And I think the one crucial thing also that adds to it is their accuracy in front of goal, which has definitely improved quite significantly. It was definitely a must for them, and they did it in full flying colours. It's an incredibly bright future, and yeah, I think it had a lot to do with a few changes. Obviously, they had 4 key players come in. Alex Silvani, Matthew Cruiser, Graham, Billy Smets, they all came in for the side, and that added a bit more experience to the lineup, and that really helped the team to really get a balance through the lineup right there. And yeah, they did it very well. They did it very well. They absolutely smashed the disposals, 390 to 361. Disposal efficiency, they absolutely smashed. 78%, that's higher than most of the team so far this round. 72% for Sydney. Efficiency inside 50, however, did drop off because they had 52 inside 50s to 48, so they won that. But efficiency was unfortunately at 42%, while Sydney was at 52%. So they had 10 more percent between them. Contested possession was quite even, 140 to 141 in favour of the Swans. However, that's kind of where it ends in this section. Uncontested possession was dominated by Carlton, 251 to 223. Marks 122 to 80 in favour of the Blues. Contested marks 12 to 8. Inside 50 marks 13 to 11, both in favour of the Blues. 79 apiece in terms of tackling, but Carlton just were more aggressive around the ball. Attackers inside forward 50, 10 to 15 in favour of the Swans. That goes to show you that they didn't really have many opportunities because the Blues were always really getting those turnovers and rebounding it. Possessions, intercepts, and possessions and turnovers. So I'm doing both stats because they're exactly 68 apiece. So both sides were just sloppy in that area, but the Blues managed to use those turnovers more effectively and efficiently than the Sydney Swans. Clearances 33 to 32 in favour of the Swans, which I found quite not actually surprising. I'm not really surprised by this because the Blues dominated the centre clearances, which is where they're good at, but the stoppage clearances is their struggling point. They struggle in those areas in stoppages. And I'll give you a clue. I'll give you the stats. Centre clearances 15 to 8. 15 to 8. That's in favour of the Blues. They dominated that. But then the Sydney absolutely dominated stoppage clearances 17 to 25. That's where Carlton's struggling. That's Carlton's a really weak point right then. Those stoppages, and they got a lot of improvements ahead. So yeah, it was interesting, and I like to use bounces also. 4 to 10. So that gives you a bit of an idea that the Swans were more keen because that was in favour of the Swans 10 to 4. Now a lot of people will say like, well, why does that matter? Why do bounces matter? Because that gives you an indication of which side was more keen on carrying the ball, trying to attack, trying to carry the ball. That's what Sydney was trying to do. Carlton weren't really more of carrying the ball. They were more of passing it and finding teammates. They were more of keeping possession of the ball, while Sydney were more of attacking. The only problem was they struggled to get behind Carlton's defence. It happened again and again and again. There was always calm plays, always flood. As soon as Sydney got the ball, they always flood in. There were many times where Sydney managed to find a way through Carlton's defence and then managed to convert a score from that. I can't give the actual score from that particular stat because obviously it's the AFL website, so it's not giving me that information. But Sydney were shocking in the second half. Carlton trampled over them. They trampled over them, particularly they got a hold in that third quarter. They kicked, throughout the second half, I'll give you the scores. Sydney kicked 5 goals, 6 in the second half. Carlton kicked 10 goals, 3. That's how dominant Carlton were, and they used their opportunities well. Sydney had one more scoring shot than Carlton. Yeah, one more scoring shot than Carlton, but were inaccurate. But the Blues were just better all day. Better all day. They were more aggressive, and they were always progressing forward. And it was the future. We saw the future of the Carlton Football Club, and it was highly impressive. For the Sydney Swans, their era is over. Their players are old, they're slow, and they just can't keep up anymore. And we're seeing, we're seeing the exact same thing with the Hawthorn Football Club, but we're not talking about them today, guys. We're talking about the Sydney Swans, and particularly Carlton, because Carlton are way further ahead. They're more closer to making it to a premiership than Hawthorn or Sydney at the moment. Way far ahead. And a lot of commentators are very hesitant to say that because I don't know why they're hesitant to say that. I think there's a lot of hate for Carlton in the media, and particularly in footy shows. I think the Sunday footy show was the only one that wasn't hesitant to talk about the Carlton Football Club. But every other footy show we're very hesitant. They'll talk about Carlton for about 30 seconds and then just talk about Sydney and Hawthorn for like 20 to 30 minutes. And that's probably why they didn't get a lot of views. But they need to understand, they should never hesitate, because they're not meant to be biased, but they are, the biased pricks, but they need to understand that Carlton are ahead in these two teams. They have a bright future, they have a decent list with talent. The one thing that's obviously lacking is experience, but they're starting to get that experience. They're seeing what it feels like to lose and what it feels like to win. And they are on the right path. They got a fantastic coach. They got a perfect coach who obviously you're going to get criticised after a 90-point smashing. But for the team to back it up with a win against a side they haven't beaten since 2011, I think they lost, 8-9 games in a row against Sydney? And to back it up with that and to beat the Swans like that, they did, is highly impressive. Even if the Swans were heading to a game without a win and losing the first 5 games of the round, that's still highly impressive. And Carlton are on the right track. They're on the right track. They know where they are. They know where they're going to be by the end of the year. They know their goals, and their goals don't involve, how many wins do we get? How many wins do we get? No. Their goals is to teach the young kids. It's to teach the young kids. The wins are just bonuses in the end. But Bolt's more interested in trying to get the kids experience, trying to teach them how to play footy, getting those experienced players to also help with teaching the young kids. And that's really the main goal for the Carlton Football Club at the moment. It's just teaching. Teaching, developing, building, rebuilding, I should say. And that's where they are at the moment, and they're definitely, I feel like they're actually ahead on that. I feel like they're actually learning quite a significant amount. But yes, it is round 6 only. But nevertheless, Sydney are 0-6. I had them in the top 4, and with the way things are going, they're going to be bottom 4. I also had Hawthorn up there. I don't think I had them in the top 4. I think I had them like 7th or 8th. They're way below. But anyway, I just need to stop talking about Hawthorn. Hawthorn, yes, they're shit, but yeah. Alex Silvani, obviously, he's 29 years old. He's an experienced player. However, this was his first game for the Carlton Football Club, coming over from Fremantle. And he was outstanding against Franklin. Franklin kicked, I think, 1 goal. I think that's all he kicked for the entire game. But he really shut Franklin down, and he was fantastic and superb about it. And I've never seen a debut by a Carlton player like that for a long time. It was Absolutely inspirational. Doherty was up and about. Every single time he's up and about, can't seem to win. So, you know, something there. He got 39 disposals. 39 disposals. That's not bloody bad. 87 disposal efficiency. 87. That's the highest disposal efficiency I've seen all week. All week. That's outstanding. 9 contested possessions. 28 uncontested possessions. 7 intercepts. He did give away 5 turnovers, which was disappointing. 12 marks. 6 score involvements. How many rebounds? Inside 50, 0. But rebounds, 5 rebounds. Oh, wait, no, he got 2 inside 50s, sorry. 2 inside 50s. 1 clearance, which was a stoppage. Wow, stoppage? Oh, nice. But yes, 5 rebounds. That's what I was looking at. That's pretty damn good. Obviously, he's not the best. You can't really beat Gary Ablett from this round. I've been saying it all week. Even despite all this, I still think Gary Ablett was the best player of round 6. And yes, I am a Carlton supporter. As much as I love Doherty, Gary Ablett was by far the best player of round 6. Sorry. But getting back to this, he was sensational. He's only 23 years old, guys. So remember that, you know, he's got a bright career at Carlton, and he might, and you never know, Carlton might end up winning a premiership during his career. Like, he's only 23. He's got like another 10 years left. So anything can happen. But yeah, it's been absolutely a sensational performance by the Carlton Football Club. A huge congratulations. I was at the game and I was going crazy. I was going absolutely ballistic. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And yeah, it was a sight to see. But a lot of problems with the Sydney Swans. Their old key players are literally old. They're still, actually, I won't even call them key players anymore. They're just slow, they're old, and I think their time is coming to an end. So I think they'll hang up the boots by the end of this year. And yeah, it's highly disappointing to see how quickly they've dropped off. They haven't won a game. They played Brisbane this week, guys. I'm still questioning whether or not, because their best player was probably Lloyd, 78% disposal efficiency with 32 disposals, 7 contested possessions, 23 uncontested, 8 intercepts, gave away 4 turnovers, that's not too bad, 8 score involvements, 6 inside 50s and 6 rebound inside 50s. That's not bad at all. So, you know, he was definitely the best. He stood up when everybody stood down. But yeah, a lot of questions need to be answered. Cripps is back to his best finally. Patrick Cripps, 27 disposals, 1 goal, 59 disposal efficiency, which is not too good at all. Unfortunately, that's down, but that's okay. He's still quite sore with back problems and leg and ankle problems. So 11 contested possessions, 15 uncontested, 3 intercepts, but he gave away 6 turnovers, which was disappointing. Kicked the 1 goal, as I said. 7 tackles, 2 inside 50s, 4 rebounds. Not too bad. Not too bad for a bloke that's trying to get back into it. Murphy and Simpson got 31 disposals. Cases have kicked a goal. I know the fullbacks got, or the back pockets got a goal. But yeah, he's not worth what? Holy shit, are you kidding me? Wow, I've never seen that before. 31 disposals. Guess what the efficiency is? 94% with 31 disposals. 7 contested possessions. 25 uncontested. 5 intercepts. Gave away 3 turnovers, however. Kicked the goal. 12 marks. 5 inside 50s. 2 rebounds. 3 clearances. 1 centre. 2 stoppage. Outstanding. What about Mark Murphy? He's having the greatest year, probably his best year in his entire career, Mark Murphy. After come back from missing more than half a season of football last year because he got injured in round 10 against the Cats and then didn't play until round 1 of this year. He's been absolutely a role model, an absolute leader, an absolute role model. 68% efficiencies, 31 disposal, 14 contested possessions, 14 uncontested possessions. So 14 contested and 14 uncontested. In 4 intercepts, but he gave away 9 turnovers, which is highly disappointing. 5 inside 50s, 5 clearances, 3 centres, 2 stoppages. unbelievable. But yeah, a bit down on efficiency. But besides that, unbelievable. Carlton, you got a huge chance of going back-to-back wins this weekend. It is the biggest rivalry, the oldest, and I shouldn't say the biggest. I shouldn't say the biggest. It has dropped off, and unfortunately, the AFL board thinks the rivalry doesn't really exist anymore because, for the first time in the history of AFL football, Carlton and Collingwood will only be playing once in a year. Only once. For the first time since 1897, it's the first time ever that Carlton and Collingwood only play once because the AFL thinks that the rivalry is dead. But nevertheless, I want everybody to get down there. Carlton, Collingwood, whoever, just get down there. It's going to be a big game. Collingwood celebrating something, I don't know what. In fact, I'm actually going to look it up because a lot of people were saying something that Collingwood was celebrating something. They're going to do it with Arch, their biggest rivalry. Obviously, Palladium at Crown. What? 125-year anniversary. Well, if it's 125 years, commemorative Guernsey is going to be one as well. So 125 years of the Collingwood Football Club. So that'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic for us to absolutely smash the Collingwood Football Club and to make sure they go home instead of celebrating, crying. That's going to be beautiful. But nevertheless, it should be a good game, guys. It's a 50-50 game heading into this. Collingwood were absolutely outstanding against Geelong. I was fuming because, they've ruined my tip. I had a horrendous week of tipping. I tipped... who did I get wrong? I tipped Sydney, I obviously got that wrong. I tipped Hawthorn, got that wrong. No, they're tipping them again. I got the first game right. I tipped Essendon, got that wrong. Tipped Fremantle. I thought they were actually a decent chance against West Coast, but they choked horrendously and got smashed. I tipped, as I said, Geelong, and they lost. So I got 5 tips wrong, and I think I got 4 right. That was bad. Anyway, but yes, this one's probably going to be... Actually, what is the biggest game next week? The biggest game next week will probably be... Western Bulldogs and Richmond. No, I think Western Bulldogs and Richmond will be the biggest. St Kilda and GWS. Actually, that might be the biggest. St Kilda and GWS. I'm tipping the Saints on that one if you haven't noticed, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. But nevertheless, Saturday, 2:10 p.m. MCG, Collingwood and Carlton. Get down there, guys. It's going to be thrilling. Might as well because Channel 7 will not be showing this game at all. It will be on Fox Footy, but screw that. Going to the game live, you can't beat the atmosphere. You really can't. But that's it from me, guys, here at AFL Legend Unite. Congratulations to get to the Blues. And I shall see you all in the next video. Take care.